Well, guys, I think right now that Peter is actually just going to get us underway and get started. So without further ado, I will actually introduce you guys to Mr. Peter Jeffrey.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Hello, sir. I'm doing well. In the darkness of night in Texas, I'm doing well.
Yes, well, thanks for speaking with me so late in the night over there. It's midday or 1 o'clock here. So I guess yep, I'll get us started. So a little bit about myself. I'm the marketing manager at Cadisto. So what is Cadisto? We are a multi-channel sales app for Shopify, Magento, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, and Ecwid. And what we do is we allow you to sell directly on Amazon and eBay straight from your existing e-commerce platform, and in a way that you can connect to any of Amazon and eBay's 40+ global marketplaces. So what that helps you with is creating your listings in bulk, so taking your entire product catalog and using it to automate the creation of new listings on Amazon and eBay. And once they're keeping all of your inventory in sync, pricing and product details across all of your connected marketplaces. Like I said, we are available on Shopify and WooCommerce. We're actually the official solution for WooCommerce's Amazon and eBay integration, same with Ecwid, and we're a BigCommerce premium partner and available on the Magento, M1 and M2 marketplaces. Sorry, technical difficulty there. Yep, so today I'm going to be talking about why sellers should be adding marketplaces to their channel mix. So I'll get started with a look at a few numbers from Amazon. So these are based on figures out of the US, where Amazon's sort of a more mature marketplace and very dominant in the market there. But we can see here Amazon has 51% of customer searches for products or in the e-commerce space actually start on Amazon. So that's compared to only 30% on Google. So even if you're a merchant that isn't on Amazon, particularly in countries like the USA, where they're so dominant, even if you've got your Google SEO and SEM and your visibility really working well on Google and other search engines, if you're not on Amazon, you're already missing out on more than half of that e-commerce related product searches and not getting the benefit of that visibility. And it's not just the searches. In the US, 49% of all online sales are made through Amazon, which is obviously a staggering number, and it's nearly half of all e-commerce in the US. And what's particularly good about that is that in the US, and this is a similar trend across most of the countries where they've sort of been an established marketplace, 52% of all products sold on Amazon are from third-party sellers. So that means sellers just like yourselves that are able to share in that sort of that 230 billion plus revenue Amazon achieves every year. Half of it is being shared with other third-party smaller sellers who are using the marketplace to reach new customers. So Amazon Australia, it is a little different of a case from Amazon USA because it's only been around for a couple of years now, but it is Amazon's fastest growing marketplace at the moment. And so even though it's a smaller market and slightly less established in the Australian marketplace, it's still a huge opportunity and one that's growing. They had $292 million worth of sales in 2018, and that's only going to climb this year when those figures come in. But that was only amongst 20,000 third-party sellers. Now that might sound like a lot, but it's actually a very small number compared to other marketplaces. And so it's not quite as much of a competitive environment. So when you compare it to opportunities in other Amazons, such as the USA or in Europe, with that sort of larger revenue base, it might be a slightly smaller pie, but you are able to get yourself a bigger slice of it because it's a bit less competitive at the moment. So it's kind of the time to strike while the iron's hot before others jump on. In last year alone, there was $68 million spent by Amazon in Australia on marketing. The reason that's sort of significant is, that's shows a huge investment in getting the word out and getting people to Amazon's platform and bringing them, bringing new sets of eyes to the products there, which could include your products, if you are selling on Amazon. Which brings me to eBay. So, eBay is still a very viable option for Australian sellers selling in Australia. It's still the most visited retail site in Australia. That's for now. Amazon's sort of quickly catching up, and we could see a reversal of that over the next few years. But at the moment, with 60 million monthly visits being shared across 40,000 professional sellers, there's still a lot of opportunity on the eBay marketplace in Australia. A lot of sellers tend to be hesitant towards eBay Australia, and customers as well, because they still have that assumption that eBay is sort of a second-hand auction marketplace. But in fact, today, 91% of the products sold on eBay are brand new, and only a very small number of sort of the transactions that go on, particularly in that brand new space, are auction based, and it's starting to look a lot more like the Amazon experience, particularly with the introduction of eBay Plus, which is very similar to Amazon Prime, which you might be familiar with, and eBay's rollout of PBSE listings, which in effect takes eBay listings from being that sort of merchant-owned listing where you might have 20 different product pages and different listings for the same product, and making it more like Amazon's listing style, in which one particular product with multiple sellers can all be viewed and bought from that one product listing page. So why you should sell on marketplaces? Basically, because it's just an opportunity to reach more customers is the biggest driving cause. It's always going to give you more exposure for your brand, more potential customers, and increase your visibility online. Sorry, I'm back here. And another big one is that having that review foundation, marketplaces tend to be very well relied upon for reviews for a lot of customers, and especially if you're a smaller, more unknown brand, your conversion rate can increase across all of your sales channels just by having that review base on a trusted source such as Amazon or eBay. Sorry, back. And yeah, it allows you to reach customers in whole new ways that you can't do quite as easily with your own sort of online store. You can sell globally very easily by leveraging Amazon's international marketplaces and using their FBA network and fulfillment services there to sort of test the waters of new markets. You can be selling in Japan or Germany or the US with very minimal setup time. And it also gives you access to new marketing channels through Amazon sponsored products and eBay's promoted listings, which I'll get to in more detail shortly. So despite the obvious advantages of selling on more marketplaces, reaching more customers, getting that good review base, it does come with some challenges. Obviously, more channels is more work, and it adds to the kind of time cost of managing multiple channels. And there's the initial setup of creating new listings on each marketplace. And then you've got the more sort of technical challenges of keeping your inventory pricing, your product information consistent and synced across multiple channels, and having your inventory management set up in a way that can handle that. Cadisto and ShipStation together pretty much tackle each of those hurdles and make the whole process a lot more easier, which is sort of takes the negative side out of it and really leaves you with no reason not to be selling on Amazon and eBay, and at least trying to reach those new customers through those marketplaces. So the marketplace opportunity for Australian sellers in specific, you might be thinking, should I sell on Amazon or eBay or global or local or any combination of them? Really, your sort of starting point, you've got a few different options. You could start selling on Amazon Australia, It's going to be a lot easier to leverage your existing fulfillment process. You can just start selling there and distributing through your existing channels to reach customers, just like you do on your online store, which might not be quite so simple if you start selling into international marketplaces. You also have the advantage of getting in early while the Australian Amazon marketplace is growing, and using those sort of simple optimization tactics to get visible while it's still growing, so that once Amazon Australia reaches that more, I suppose, mature point with revenue and number of visitors, you've already taken a dominant position in your particular niche. Conversely, you could start selling on Amazon internationally. It's definitely a case of a much bigger pie that you'd be taking a smaller slice out of if you looked at places like the US and the UK, but it is a little bit more competitive. But there are always things you can do to gain leverage in that marketplace. For merchants looking at starting with Amazon, I'd recommend starting with Amazon Australia, getting used to that marketplace. But at the moment, you'd probably see more success, more customers available. It varies depending on your category, but by looking at Amazon in the US as like a really good starting place, because it is the biggest, the most established, and it has the largest number of customers. And also selling on eBay, the big advantage there, particularly for Australian sellers, is the number of visitors that they have, the dominance they have in the market. So it's a really great place to gain visibility for your brand and reach those new customers. So if you are looking getting started on Amazon, whether you're going to sell into the US or to Australia or any of the other global marketplaces Amazon has, the process is relatively simple. You need to start with a professional selling account. So that is basically a subscription to Amazon to be able to sell through their marketplace, which starts at $39 a month in the US and $49 a month in Australia. Keep your eye out though. Amazon in Australia, because it is an emerging market, are often relay offers for extended periods of time with trials and discounts if you sign up for 6 months, and they're always in flux and always changing. And the next big step is to, before selling on Amazon, ensure that all of your product identifier information is up to date, or that you have product identifier information. What I'm talking about there is your UPC EAN information. A lot of sellers go on and try and get ready to sell on Amazon, but they find that they can't because their products that they're listing new on the marketplace don't have comprehensive product identifier information. So what is that? UPCs, EANs, they're basically sort of like barcodes, if you aren't familiar with them. If you need to, particularly if you're introducing your product to Amazon and it's a product that's never been sold on Amazon's marketplace, you'll need to have that information ready so that you can create those products on their catalog. From there, you can very easily use Cadisto to create offers for products that are already being sold on Amazon. What I mean by offers is if you are selling something, for example, a particular pair of Nike shoes that's already being sold on Amazon, potentially by multiple sellers, you're not creating a new listing with images and description. You're finding Amazon's existing listing and you're putting up your offer, which includes your pricing, your fulfillment options, and all those core details. If you are introducing a new product to Amazon's marketplace, then you'll be creating a whole new listing, which means you'll need your product photography, your descriptions, your titles. Using Cadisto, you can do that automatically and in bulk across your entire catalog into Amazon, with the requirement, of course, that you have that necessary product identifier information first. And from there, it's a case of optimizing and marketing your Amazon listings to be successful. Now, this is, I suppose, a big point that a lot of first-time Amazon sellers, especially if they come from their own online store sort of environment, where they don't put the time, time and effort in to really succeed. So, it's just like when you're starting your online store. You do all your tricks in Google, and you do Google advertising, your Facebook advertising to bring people to your store. Your Amazon listing is no different. There are still things that you need to do to gain visibility and get customers to find your Amazon listings, to convert when they're there. And I'll go through a few of those with you now. So when you're launching on Amazon, especially if you are selling a product that is new to the catalog, so if it's your own privately branded product as opposed to something that you're retailing from a supplier, you want to ensure your product is getting the visibility and taking advantage of that sort of 50% of online searches for e-commerce that are going into Amazon. So just like Google has its algorithms, Amazon has its own called A9, which it uses to determine which products it should show for which searches. There are a number of things you can do to optimize your products for this, like optimizing your titles to be relevant and to include keywords and your descriptions, and improving your overall listing quality, conversion rate, and a number of factors like that. Very similar if you come from a background of being used to Google, advertising and Google search marketing, but with a slightly different Amazon spin. But there are a lot of those skills that you may have acquired in sort of getting visibility for your website through Google that will help you in optimizing for Amazon. There is also the option to use Amazon sponsored products, which is basically a really easy to use PPC marketing platform on Amazon's marketplace, where you basically pay for traffic through premium positioning on Amazon based on customer searches and keywords. If you are familiar with Google AdWords, or Google Ads as it's called now, then you'll be familiar with this sort of product. It can be really good when you first launch on Amazon to get that visibility for your product, for your keywords. And the big one on Amazon is, for your optimization when you're first launching there, is really focus in the early months on getting a good foundation of reviews. Reviews on Amazon are one of the biggest drivers of conversion, as well as visibility for your product in search. So when you're just starting out, don't so much focus on your sales and your revenue, but you're looking at getting products out, keeping customer satisfaction high, and dealing with those with that feedback, so that your initial or your early set of reviews that come through for a product on Amazon are at that 4 or 5 star level. Otherwise, you may struggle to find success in the future. And the big thing I'd recommend to anyone, whether you're selling on Amazon Australia, US, or any of the other marketplaces, I've touched on a few of these things that can help, but there's so much education available free out there online, and about selling on Amazon. So while with ShipStation and Cadisto, we can make it really easy for you to get your products listed and to manage your inventory and your shipping, to get your products out there and market them. It's there's a lot of really easy, really understandable sort of educational tools out there that you can get you over the line, so that you can find that initial success very quickly. So another reason to sort of look at marketplaces for your brand, as opposed to just aside from just the obvious sales and visibility you get on those marketplaces, is the reviews. Customers often will seek out third-party reviews before they'll buy a product, and they'll do their research. Particularly if you're a smaller brand with not a very big online footprint that people might not be familiar with, they will go and look for traces of your brand and reviews from third-party reliable sources on the internet. If you don't have your products on marketplaces like Amazon and eBay, where people can easily provide those reviews, then they won't be there for the customers to find, and they might not have the confidence to shop with your brand. But if they come to your online store, like your product, and find that you've got good reviews on Amazon, they generally will find that to be a strong indicator of quality in the product and will shop with more confidence. to that end as well, a lot of customers are concerned with fraud, quality when they're buying from unfamiliar brands. So even aside from the third-party review base, they generally tend to trust marketplaces, because Amazon in particular have such robust policies in place to ensure against those sort of things. So they'll often trust marketplaces for their first experience with your brand, and then potentially shop direct from you with confidence next time once they've had that positive initial interaction. So for this reason, why positive customer interactions can really be worth more than sales. And so getting those interactions through Amazon, and the word of mouth and the good brand image that comes from it are invaluable. And the last one, implementing a strategy to convert your marketplace customers back to becoming direct customers through your online store. So simple things like inside of your products, having warranty offers or advertising material that sort of closes that loop and brings them from the marketplace sale back into your online store. Can all be effective ways of using marketplaces, not just to get sales in the marketplaces, but to grow visibility and grow traffic to your own online store or more direct channels. If you are looking at doing this kind of thing, though, it's definitely worth reading through Amazon's terms and conditions on what you can and can't do, because they do have some very specific rules in that area. Which I think brings me back to Jason for now.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I'm probably going to sound like an echo of what Peter was talking about. However, I can't say too much on Google because I have a Googler in my house right now. My wife has worked for Google for the last 16 years, so I have to be really quiet when I say anything about Google. Otherwise, it's World War III. I'll tell you guys this, our vision and our mission statement is wherever you sell, however you ship, is exceptionally efficient. The big thing with ShipStation is, as what Peter was echoing, and I think it actually speaks to our partnership, ShipStation is a multi-channel, multi-carrier software that's designed to help our users expand their domestic and global footprint. So whether it be eBay, and again, going to what Peter was indicating, eBay has been a long-standing brand, a long-standing marketplace in which users have seen previously that it was, or have been thought of, it's more of a auctioning marketplace, but that is definitely not the case. If you look at it, eBay looks at about 7.8 million users per month, with a new kid on the block being Amazon. And Amazon, of course, everybody knows that name, everybody's familiar with that, but you definitely want to make sure that you expand your brand and expand your marketplaces and selling channels to utilize them and get your global footprint out there. At ShipStation, our goal is to really enable our users to import more orders and have more selling channels. And I think that our partnership and our referral program with Codisto is truly a testament to both our organizations trying to assist our users to help create an unparalleled buying and shipment experience with every one of those orders. Over the next couple of minutes, and I do my best not to talk so much, but you guys will hear me utilize terms such as order batching and order filters, automation rules, order tags, yada, 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 branded returns and post transactions. But these terms really speak to the core of what ShipStation looks to do to make our shipping process a much more user-friendly as well as a much seamless customer experience. As an e-commerce seller, I think that what we really try to do is we try to take the known frustrations of what shipping has to offer off of your plate. One of the things that we like to do is within our platform, we allow you to instantly rate shop for the best prices provided for your selected carriers. So you bring in your specific carriers, we allow you to, and I'll say this, I am carrier agnostic in respect to whatever carrier you're using. I will make that happen, but we want to save you time and money. So that's one of the things that we do. By creating a branded tracking experience that allows your store's name and your business's name to create and resonate let's say, repeat business for your users just by your name alone. So branded tracking, as well as some of the returns options that we offer, allow your name as far as your business to resonate and allow your users to come back to you. Going in the same vein with a returns process, and I haven't changed slides, so I apologize. I got really wrapped up in my own talking. For you and your customers, whether it be with Oz Post or Star Trek. Like I said, I'm really carrier agnostic, but when this is put in place, we found that merchants increased average monthly orders by 16%. After implementing a branded tracking and returns portal, shoppers were 29% more likely to buy again because the service was available. So that name recognition does tend to elevate your repeat users and repeat customers. Another thing that ShipStation really tries to do is we provide you two options for inventory capabilities. One is our internal ShipStation offering, which is our internal solution, which allows you to track and manage alert stock levels and apply stock to like high priority orders, as well as it allows you to prevent shipping of out of stock items by warning or blocking of those. I don't mean this in a negative way, but this is the fundamental thing that is within ShipStation. We have the ability to do the basic inventory capabilities. If you wanted to get something that's more advanced, ShipStation also allows you to connect to your current inventory management solution that could provide you the ability to create API calls, to send purchase orders to vendors, to split orders, as well as kits and bundles. So we provide you with that flexibility and those options so that you could utilize what's in ShipStation depending on where you are, as well as if you're more advanced and you have an inventory management solution, you can utilize that as well. A couple more things that we try to do is we have a reporting tools or our data tools, which is called Insights, and it allows you to optimize your business strategies in real time. The Insights pages allow you to look at the dashboards to measure things like customer engagement and sales trends and product highlights. It in essence kind of shows you a snapshot of how good your business is doing on each of your particular, let's say, selling channels or your particular carriers, as well as your products. So you could adjust pretty much in real time as to where you need to position. If you need to put more products on eBay, if you feel like you need to actually put more products on Amazon, because Amazon is actually going gangbusters. And going back to what Peter said, people have actually looked at your reviews and saw that you guys are actually a stand-up company and want to buy from you through that channel. ShipStation has insights tools that allow you to do that. One of the other things that we have the capability of doing is creating barcode scanning options. As you start to get busier and busier, there's a lot of things that you have been doing manually, like manually uploading tracking, manually uploading information for customers. We try to eliminate that simply by importing all of those orders, as well as creating the capability of scanning to view those orders in the database, or scanning to print those orders, or scanning to search them, or scanning to put them into a particular batch. Batching orders is one of the things that ShipStation really, I guess I'd say, lays our hat on, because we have the ability to batch up to 500 orders at a time. So as opposed to printing one label at a time, you can say, hey, I have all of these 500 orders. I've set them already up. Let's batch them and let's print them. It creates it creates efficiency to allow you to do that. So it saves you time, and it saves you money, saves you effort. Those are some of the things that we try to do at ShipStation. I can give you guys an idea of how you would get started with ShipStation. And this will go to some of the things that you see right here. It's referring to automation rules. Getting started is a rather simple process. It's a matter of you connecting your selling channels, which would be your Amazons, your eBays, whatever you're utilizing, whether it be Etsy, as well as your carriers. Again, We are really carrier agnostic, so if the carrier is available, you can pull it into ShipStation and then designate your ship from location. And to be completely honest, from there, you're pretty much on your way. It's what we like to call zero to ship in no time. You would be provided an account manager for a 30-day period that would help you, do some of the administrative work, some of the things that you might not be familiar with, some of the terminology, the things that you might utilize in your warehouse, in your pick, pack, and ship process. ShipStation account managers can actually show you where that lies within our platform. But once all of that's done, everything's under one specific umbrella. So you guys would have a specialist to work with you to meet you at where you guys are in the process to get everything set it up. I'll go back to the first slide that we had, which is wherever you sell, however you ship, exceptionally efficient. ShipStation is we really pride ourselves on making all of the things that you have been doing manually a automated process. So inside of ShipStation, you can actually set rules, or what we refer to as automations, to perform multiple tasks based on specific criteria that you set. Going back to the same information with respect to barcodes, you can actually go in and set one action to do multiple things over and over again without human interaction, so it never changes. So for example, you might want to create a rule that states any order that has an address outside of Australia, it needs to be shipped via Ozpost International or DHL or UPS or whatever your carrier is. This is actually something that can be done within ShipStation. And additionally, if you had a rule that you had a preferred carrier within Australia for domestic orders, you could do the same thing. You might want to create a combination of rules, let's say an automation rule or an order filter or an order tag that said all Amazon orders or all eBay orders need to be processed and tagged as priority shipments. This would allow you to assign a specific team member from your warehouse to review that order immediately and make sure that it's pulled properly and that it's shipped properly. So these are things that can be done within the platform every time that an order comes in. Let's say that it comes in from your eBay channel or it comes from your Amazon channel. You can have rules that are designated that can make sure that that same thing happens each and every time, and there's no human interaction involved other than the picking process. The flexibility that we try to offer, it's really designed to be for the unique features and unique facets of your business. So our goal is, I said this before, is to really meet you where you are with respect to your shipping and business needs. The software that we have is, I tell this to my team all the time, whether it be in Canada or in the UK or Australia, our software can be both simple and truly robust so as to give you the ability to engage with your customers in a manner that's truly befitting to your business. We have the ability to send notification emails. We have the ability to send shipment delivery notification emails. All of these things that can be done that gives it a much more personalized touch, that can be done within ShipStation. So going to what Peter was saying, as we're going further into our partnership and our relationship in Australia, we've recently integrated with some partners such as Star Trek to provide faster domestic service options as well as returns, offerings that go along with Ozpost and Sendle and DHL, UPS, and Seiko Logistics. Our partnership with Cadisto, it sounds like a broken record, but to echo what Peter was saying, is it's basically just another step in the direction to show that we have a true commitment to our Australian users as well as to the things that they find important to their business. That's what ShipStation really does in a nutshell, and I would be open to any questions that you guys have, anything that you guys may want to have questions for. So I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys on that with any questions that you have. If you want to Slack those in or chat those in, I'd be more than happy to answer those, and I'm sure Peter would as well.
I would indeed.
I'm sorry?
I would, yes.
Okay. So Peter, I'll ask this just because it's a question I want to know, and I've written it down. So
Yep.
if I'm listing a large number of products within Cadisto, how do I handle optimizations for those products that can be quite unique from one another? How do I do
Yep.
that?
So basically, inside of Cadisto, there are a few different sort of options for how you list your products. Most users go from what we call the Express Grid, so it's basically like a spreadsheet style interface where all your products are on one page, and you've got all of your marketplace fields, and we do the hard work of taking what's in your online store catalog and repurposing it so that it's structured correctly for Amazon or eBay, or whichever it might be. In between those two steps, there is the option to use what we call rules and operators. So, for example, your titles can be restructured to be better optimized for Amazon. So, by default, we can take your if you're using Shopify for your online store, just take the Shopify title field and use that as the title field on Amazon. Or you can use these simple rules and operators to sort of structure something that is, for example, your brand plus the product title plus something that you might pull from a keyword field in Shopify to create that Amazon specific title that's optimized for search and for click through. And same thing with your Amazon backend keywords and things like that. If you have any marketing data or keywords stored in your Shopify catalog, then you can either use the Express Grid, or we call attribute mapping, which is basically connects the dots between two fields, and so you can say anytime you're creating an Amazon listing for a group of products or for particular products or for all your products, optimize it by combining these fields to give the optimized keyword field title or description or whatever it might be. From there, if you want to do those sort of deeper optimizations on a product, so if you're really looking at high level optimizations in your titles and your descriptions on Amazon to work with the A9 algorithm, you can also access those fields and manually edit them directly from within Cadisto's Express Grid in a much easier fashion than sort of through Amazon. You have to open them up individually and make those edits, but through the Express Grid you can edit them just like you would a spreadsheet of your entire catalog of products.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. I just got a couple of ShipStation questions. There was one that was, how would my shipping setup look different for Amazon in comparison to my eBay setup? Truthfully, within ShipStation, it would look identical. I would say this with respect to how you have your offering set up on Amazon. So if you have standard shipping, or if you have expedited shipping on Amazon and eBay, those would all look the same. It's just a matter of, and I said this before, ShipStation is post-transaction. So anything that you have within your selling channel, as well as mapped to your carriers, all of that setup is going to be the same within ShipStation. So we just really pull that information from your selling channels as well as your carriers as to what's available. So all of the setup looks the same, but we can actually segment and filter that information. So you could see what your Amazon orders are, as well as what your eBay orders are, as well as any of the other, I think, 190 something connections that we have. So the setup is absolutely identical. It's a matter of you receiving or actually putting in your username, password, credentials. Those all look the same, and they pull into the ShipStation dashboard. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions on that, and I'll be more than happy to answer. I saw that what if you have a carrier such as Hunter Express who have not developed an API link previously into ShipStation, how can we get them linked for shipping? I get this question often because there are a lot of, and forgive me for saying this, as I'm an American and sometimes I only get stuck into my American locations. There are a lot of carriers that we're not truly aware about that are regional. So we have open APIs that would allow carriers to create their connection. It's truly an open API. So I again don't mean to say this in the way that's sounds unempathetic, but they can actually go in and they could create a connection that would locate, or actually that would connect them to ShipStation via Hunter Express. If they have a developer that's willing to do that, they're more than happy. We would be more than happy to open that up. We also have the ability to connect them with our partner relations program, as well as our carrier program, and we could talk with them about the number of users that they engage. Again, I'm trying to learn as much as I possibly can about the territory and who's available with respect to carriers. So we could actually set up conversations to see who we talk to and how we get that accomplished. I will ask, are there any additional questions that you guys want to type in, or anything else that Peter and I could address for you? Okay. All right, I think that is all the questions that we have. If you guys want, you can reply to the email that we will send out tomorrow. There'll be a follow-up email to everyone who's attended. And then I think Peter has a promo, or I believe there's going to be some information that he'll talk to you about this after this particular presentation.
Yep. Yeah. Well, just quickly, worth mentioning, we have we generally have a 30-day free trial offer for our app when you install it on any of the marketplaces we support. But for ShipStation customers at the moment, we have a code that'll activate an extended trial. So you've got 60 days to use Kadisto for free, whether on Shopify, Magento, BigCommerce, Woo, or Ecwid. And that's the full product. So unlimited listings and orders, all features, full access to support. And at the end of the 60 days, if you don't end up subscribing with Kadisto into a paid plan, you still get to keep those marketplace listings that you've created on sort of Amazon or eBay, globally or locally. You just won't be able to continue with the sort of inventory sync and those other deeper features of the product. So yeah, I'd encourage anyone with an interest on selling on Amazon and eBay to download the app and take advantage of those 60 days. It's a pretty easy one to remember. It's ShipStation 60, all capital letters, 60 as a number. So okay. ShipStation 60, and if you just download the app, put in that code, and you'll get your 60 free days.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you guys for taking the time to talk with us. We truly appreciate it, and we look forward to working with you. All right, everyone, have a wonderful afternoon. I'm going to have a wonderful night. You guys take care.